Today on the channel, we're taking it to the streets, the mean streets of Sesame Street with Bert from NECA Toys.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, back again with something entirely different from NECA Toys. We're taking it to the streets, Sesame Street, Bert. But for all your Bert needs and a whole lot more, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Gotta get a deal out there. But in a plot twist, I saved myself 25% at Jay's Toys and Games. As I was there over Memorial Day weekend, they had a 25% off everything in the store sale. I ended up getting Bert and Ernie, so look out for an Ernie review to come as well. And I was going to pass on these because I'm the first to admit it. I hated Sesame Street as a kid. I could not, even at like 4 or 5 years old, put me down in front of the TV. I don't want anything to do with Sesame Street. Somebody turn on Transformers, G.I. Joe, Mask, Cops, whatever it may be. I didn't have time for Sesame Street. Didn't have time for Mr. Rogers. And I think it drove my grandma and my aunt crazy because my uncle, who was about 10 years older than me, he loved the streets. He loved Mr. Rogers. Not a young Kyle. I didn't like that kind of stuff. I liked the war and the violence and the fighting. I liked the cartoons. Wasn't into the Sesame Street. But like everybody in the world, you know Sesame Street. You know these characters. You know who they are. And you got Bert, who always just seems so disgruntled to me. He just looks angry all the time. I don't know what he's up to. He's like a young Dave Mustaine. He's angry again. That's what he is. But I felt like I wanted to get these, especially 25% off, not having to pay full price. I was like, these look cool enough. They are definitely pop culture icons. Maybe they didn't affect my life. Maybe they affected yours. But I did think they were interesting enough. And I said, you know what? This is great for a miscellaneous shelf. So here we are. That leads us today to one Bert. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And I've never heard anybody in my life named Bert until fairly recently. My old boss, his name was Albert, but everybody calls him Bert apparently. I was like, are you kidding me? I've never heard anybody call anybody Bert before. I would have stuck with Albert if I was him, but to each their own, to each their own. But here it is, old Bert in the packaging, feeling very Sesame Street, feeling very like cartoony back in the day. Like there was, and there probably still is, like books for little kids to read with the Sesame Street characters. And that's kind of what that looks like to me here. Got Bert up top, Sesame Street. He's rocking the green and yellow. So you know he's an Oakland A's fan. Represent 1989. Shout out to those Oakland A's, of course. We'll never forget. We'll never forget. J-Hook at the top as well. But nice packaging design on this one here. Sesame Street presents Bert. Okay, right there. Bert over here as well. Number 2, apparently. And then right there on the back, there's some glamour shots, some of the accessories, some of that. This is volume 2. I'm guessing Ernie is volume 1. Doing them out of order. Why wouldn't I, of course? But Sesame Street, it'll be interesting to see. You got to think Big Bird's coming around the corner. Doesn't he have to be? You would have to think. Sesame Street background right there. I'm sure we'll get everybody. Will we get Snuffleupagus? See you later. Goodbye, Bert. We'll see you in another lifetime there. And there's old Bert in the plastic tin. But I'm going to take this offline, get Bert out of the package. We'll be back talking all things Sesame Street. All right, let's dive into Sesame Street Bert. And we're going to start off, of course, with the accessories. Got some yellow hands here. I guess not gloves. That's just his color, of course. But Bert does have the pointing finger. He's got the what you gonna do, Ernie, when you get in my way of my bath time? Or is it Ernie that takes the baths? Yeah, you know what I mean. But he does got that what you doing, brother hand there. We also got 2 scratching hands. Is that what those are? It almost looks like he's getting ready to claw somebody down their back. I don't know what him and Ernie are up to. There's been rumors for years, as we know. And then we do get the other what you gonna do, brother hand. So we can't give you the double what you gonna do, brother, if need be. Now we do get a generic accessory, I think. I don't know if he's tied into an A or something like that. It's A for Angie, of course, my co-host of my weekly podcast every single Tuesday, The Kyle Peterson Show. Check it out where podcasts are found. Cheap plug for that. Got a little face inside that A. Nightmare fuel, if you ask me, that's for sure. But you do got a little A right over there. A for Angie, of course. But now we're diving into some more accessories. We got this board here. It's almost like a picture frame. Is this a bunch of bottle caps? That's what it looks like to me. Looks like bottle caps. So I'm guessing Bert, just a thrilling individual, has a bottle cap collection. Shout out to him for that. We got a little book action here. Boring stories. Oh, this could be just riveting. And I do like that the book is like open and it stays that way. This is one of those great accessories you give to a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Donatello could be reading this, maybe. Or maybe this would be something like Duke would read in the G.I. Joe Classified line. I think this is right up Duke's alley as well. But I do like that as a cool accessory you could use with other toy lines if need be. Then we get a little box here and it says, boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy. That's for sure right there. Looking interesting. It almost looks like a cigar box, but it's full of paper clips. Of course, why wouldn't you be? Paper clips, keeping paper together for hundreds of years now. Looking pretty good, but I do like that it has a hinge on it. Very cool. Another accessory you could use with other toy lines if you want to. Pretty darn cool accessories with this one here, but we're not done. We do get a pigeon. Who is this pigeon? I guess I remember Bert and Ernie too, didn't they? Maybe it was Bert. Obviously, it probably was Bert that had a pigeon friend. He's like a young Mike Tyson without all the fighting and violence, I guess is what he is. But he enjoys his company of pigeons, apparently. So we do get a little pigeon here. Once again, an accessory you can use with other people if you wanted to. But now, diving into our boy Bert right here. Bert, rocking the unibrow. He's just made it its own, of course. He's not getting that cut in between. Got that wild unibrow going on. Got the tuft of hair at the top. Hair removable if you want to shave it off right there. Very interesting hairdo, of course, on him as well. Looking a little wild up there. Got those crazy, almost googly eyes. Almost looks like those eyes people put on things. He's got the two pupils very close together. Got that big orange nose, like an orange on its side, looking wild, of course. Got those two little yellow ears. Looks like Bert, though. I'm by no means am I an expert on Bert, but I know this head a mile away. Most people would. Most kids would as well. Second head here, not quite as stoic. It's an angry Bert, and this is the one I'm going to use. I want a little open mouth on my Bert here. Very cool, looking good. He does got the big caterpillar eyebrows on this one as well, but you do got different eyebrows between the two, and it does say on the packaging that the eyebrows are removable, so you can mix and match and change them around. Yep, they just plug in and out very easily right there. So you can mix up the head combinations as eyebrows give a lot of personality or lack of personality depending on the figure. Same thing with the hair. You can mix and match between those as well. But definitely a cool feature here for him. But I do prefer the open mouth, I think, if I had to choose between the two. But now diving into old Bert in the body. I got the turtleneck going on. That's a power move. You don't see a lot of turtlenecks anymore, Todd McFarlane. That was all the rage back then. I remember in the late 90s, I had like a family photo one time, and my parents said, hey, you're going to wear this. And I usually let them choose what I was going to have to wear to a family photo. It's just easier that way, of course. And I was rocking the turtleneck and never looked back. But Bert still rocking it all these years later, all in white here. A very 70s shirt, too, as well on here. All the stripes there almost hypnotizes you is what this does. Maybe he hypnotized Ernie once upon a time. Who knows? But a very hypnotizing long shirt there. Going into the hands, you got the open hands here. He's going to wave you. He's going to welcome you into Sesame Street. Maybe get some Sesame chicken along the way. Who knows what's up with them? But we do have that going on there. And then he's got some brown pants going down into some crazy shoes. Once again, very 70s-like shoes. I like these shoes, the white and the blue. I would wear a pair of these to work if I could find a pair like that. So not bad. And this feels really, really good in hand. The shirt has kind of a rubbery feel to it, but this feels really, really good in hand. Now, I haven't had a lot of puppet or Sesame Street figures in my collection over the years, but this feels really, really nice. It definitely moves very well, looks very well. This is just a slam dunk by NECA. Whether you like Sesame Street or not, you know a good figure when you hold one and when you see one. And I will say this Bert blew away my expectations. Got to be honest, my expectations pretty low on something like this as well. But not a bad piece of business at all. Now, he does got holes in his feet. Can he fit on a ringside stand? Oh, very tight. Bert needs your help. Or Bert needs your help to widen out his hole. Is what he needs. But we got that going on. He does fit right there. So that works good. Arms, of course, all the way around for us. Single jointed elbow. You do get the side to side. Hands removable, back forth, side to side. Head removable, back forth, side to side, up and down. Hair removable. Watch out. That hair's coming right out on you. Gotta put it right back in the right way. That's the hard part. But there we go. You do get waist articulation. You get a little bit of dumbbell there. You get those big old splits if you do need them. Very greasy here on his back porch. I don't know what's going on. There's some grease back here. Is it some leftover? I don't know what's going on there. but good range of motion for this figure out of the legs. Single jointed knee, side to side, ankles, back forth, side to side, up and down. Pretty much our usual articulation, but man, looking pretty good, I gotta say, especially for 25% off. That's where I'm dancing, and that worked out pretty well for me. So Bert, not a bad piece of business. Now we got to bring on Ernie. We'll do him in a separate review, of course. And then I think the Count is out right now. Do I dare pick up the Count? Now, I love vampires, and I'd love to compare him to, of course, Christopher Lee and Bela Lugosi. Maybe we do that. We have a little vampire party. Who knows? But have to imagine San Diego Comic-Con. There's no imagining. It's around the corner from when I'm filming this. I'm sure we'll get some more Sesame Street announcements. Wouldn't be shocked to see an Elmo, a Grover, Snuffleupagus, and Big Bird possibly. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of puppets they could bring out for sure. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes in the future. And I said it'll be a lot more clear here at San Diego Comic-Con in about a month or so. But I gotta say, blown away by this Bert. Way better than I anticipated. What are your thoughts, though? Were you a kid from the streets as a kid? Or were you more like me? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Of course, turn your old notification bells on. Pro Wrestling Tees, search Kyle Peterson and pick up a t-shirt. YouTube channel memberships and Patreon if you want more content and to support the channel. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. That is my new podcast with my wife, Angie, each and every Tuesday wherever podcasts are found. Check it out. You'll enjoy it. Trust me, trust me. And trust me, for Bert, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?